Now, from CBS 4 News, this is Facing South Florida with Jim DeFede.
Now on a special edition of Facing South Florida, the Hollywood Hills nursing home tragedy.
Vulnerable seniors left in sweltering heat inside this facility for days.
Frail patients baked to death.
More than a dozen residents die after the nursing home's air conditioning system loses power during Hurricane Irma.
Police say the building became an oven when the air conditioning failed.
A CBS 4 News investigation takes you inside the nursing home as those who work there talk for the very first time.
The day I asked what went wrong because everything was fine when I left.
How could it be? How could that have happened?
I just want the answers to come out and the facts to come out.
Why are we talking now? Because we've had enough.
Good morning, I'm Jim DeFede, and welcome to this special edition of Facing South Florida. This week, CBS 4 News aired a three-part series on the Rehabilitation Center at Hollywood Hills. In a moment, you will see our exclusive reports. But first, I want to introduce you to one of the attorneys representing some of the families whose loved ones were inside the nursing home. Gary Cohen is a partner with Grossman Ross Yaffa Cohen, a powerhouse law firm in South Florida specializing in medical malpractice and personal injury. Gary, thanks for coming in.
Thank you, Jim.
We're going to get to the packages in a second, but I just want to establish, so you represent some of the families and some of the residents in the nursing home who survived. How are they doing?
Well, representing 6 of them, and all have a very similar story to tell in regards to the nightmares they're having and the fact of guilt for them not dying. In other words, they knew friends. A lot of them were there for quite a while, and they got to know the people in the facility, would eat with them, would play games with them, and some of them died, and obviously a lot of people didn't die, but were traumatized by this, and so they have that survivor's guilt. And it's very difficult for them to get over, especially in some of their medical conditions.
Now, as I said, we'll get to the packages that we did this week in a second, but you're working with a consortium, really, of attorneys. There are a number of attorneys involved in this case, representing both those who family members who had loved ones who died and those who survived, and you're all working together. Is that a fair statement?
That's correct. We have a joint committee on this for people who represent various members of the family and, as you said, people who have died. To address this issue once and for all. All right.
In this first story, we hear from 2 employees who say they did everything they could to help residents.
It is a shame the way that the media is saying, you know, like we didn't care, like we didn't care about the patient, that the patient passed away because we didn't take care of them. That's not true. That's not true.
The former employees we spoke to said everyone in the nursing home helped during the storm, checking and tending to residents, even if it wasn't typically their job to do so.
We're making sure that the resident has what they need.
Everybody was working for the patients and just keeping them comfortable.
Like other employees we interviewed, their anger is directed at FP&L.
Maynard was calling. I was calling. I called like 17 times, to be honest.
During one call, she was told her nursing home wasn't a priority.
And I said, what you mean we're not priority? We're supposed to be priority. This is a nursing home.
Despite the lack of a response from FP&L, the governor, and other state officials, they said they were going to be all right, and they never felt the need to evacuate. Did anyone ever raise the question of evacuating?
No. Like I said, when I left, everything was fine on Monday.
In fact, on that Monday, they admitted 4 patients into the nursing home from Memorial Hospital across the street. And obviously they knew that you were out of AC because I think
Absolutely.
Your staff was telling them that they had no AC.
Yes.
And they sent them anyway.
Yes.
The whole time that you were here, did you ever hear anyone discuss and debate the idea of maybe we should just pack it up and get all these people out of here?
No. I didn't think we needed it. I didn't think we needed to evacuate on Tuesday when I was here.
She left the nursing home 1 p.m. Tuesday. She said it was warm, but it didn't seem that the heat was a problem.
When I left out of here, everything was going fine. I don't know what happened there.
Got a request from Larkin Community Hospital Behavioral Health Services in Hollywood. may be casualties. They're requesting ambulance assistance.
She's not breathing.
Okay.
She's on oxygen at this moment.
Having a respiratory problem with her. It's getting short of breath now.
Her finger started to change color, slightly blue.
12 hours after she left, starting around 1 a.m., a series of calls were placed to 911 as nursing home residents on the second floor began crashing. When do you realize that people had died here?
I received a phone call around 6:56 from one of my employees, and she said, "You need to get here." And I said, "What happened?" "People are dying." That was the word that she used. And I said, "What?" I got here at 7:05 in the morning, and it was crazy.
She said there was chaos, and she went directly to the second floor to help. What was it like inside?
It was hot. It was very hot because it was a lot of people. It was very, very hot. I don't know what was the temperature, but you can feel it, that it was hot.
There were paramedics and employees from Memorial Hospital in all the rooms. In one room, a nursing home resident was crying out in agony as strangers were trying to move her.
They were trying to move a patient who got hip surgery, trying them to sit them down, and I said, "You can't sit her down. You need to get a stretcher or a recliner. You can't sit her down. She just had a hip surgery. You can't sit her down." And she was in pain. She was screaming.
These former employees are also angered by this video taken by a family member of two of the residents.
She had the time to take a video of their parents, but she didn't have a time to take them out of bed and take them home.
Those same loved ones knew what kind of nursing care that we gave. So they're now saying that about us, but that's not true. I mean, why would they have had their loved ones there for so long if we weren't giving them excellent care? Doesn't make sense.
A spokeswoman for Memorial Regional Hospital issued a statement. "We are fully cooperating with the criminal investigation. We will not discuss any HIPAA-protected information. We believe the evacuation saved lives that day." Up next, we hear for the first time from the woman who called Governor Rick Scott's personal cell phone asking for help 36 hours before the first resident died.